NBC Sports, celebrating its 20th season of Sunday Night Football, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. The Sunday Night Anthem is presented by Geico. Get more with Geico.
It's season 20 of Sunday Night Football.
Watch out football, only show in town. Who would you rather be, man? Let's go.
Press it, guys.
97, animation song.
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night. All right, what a night, it's finally here. Sunday night football's kicking into high gear. The stars have arrived, come on, get up and cheer. Hey, Jack, it's a fact, the show's back in town. Falcons and the Vikings in a nasty showdown. The stadium's rocking, time to crank up the sound. The NFL's best have come to play. Coast to coast, there's just one thing left to say. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's everything's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night.
He'll take it himself. Touchdown.
Oh, he's starting to feel it now. This game is nuts.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
On the Falcons sideline, their head coach, Raheem Morris. His team fell in their season opener a week ago, now hitting the road, looking for their first win. On the other sideline, it is the Vikings head coach, Kevin O'Connell. His guys, on the other hand, were winners in their opener a week ago, so they'll try to make it 2-0 to start the season. Mike Tirico, Greg Oatson, we welcome you. The punter, Bradley Pinion, gets this started. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. So the Vikings come out. Technically, it is year 2 for JJ McCarthy, but really, it's year 1. Did not play at all in the regular season last year with the knee injury. The former Michigan Wolverine, the quarterback of the Vikings.
You know, some weeks might...
JJ McCarthy, Michigan. Aaron Jones Sr., El Paso, Texas.
Justin Jefferson, LSU.
Jalen Nailor, Michigan State. Adam Thielen, Minnesota State, Mankato.
TJ Hawkinson, Iowa.
Justin School, Vanderbilt. Donovan Jackson, The Ohio State University. Ryan Kelly, Alabama. Will Fries, Penn State.
Brian O'Neill, Pitt.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
He's got his man. It's Jefferson. And he will go all the way. Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings. It's his 3rd touchdown catch this year. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly, right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
record, good with the extra point. And the Vikings will take a 7-0 lead. As he kicks this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Falcons come out and they are led by Michael Penix, the second-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
And he's coming off a game where he was pretty much held in check for the majority of the contest, and he had a couple nice throws mixed in, a couple decent drives here and there, but the inability to find the end zone, of course, he had the one interception, so a lot to clean up, a lot to improve. Not just him.
Michael Penix, Washington.
Bijan Robinson, Texas.
Drake London, USC.
Ray McLeod III, Clemson.
Darnell Mooney, Tulane.
Kyle Pitts, Florida.
Jake Matthews, Texas A&M.
Matthew Bergeron, Syracuse. Ryan Newsel,
App State.
Chris Lindstrom, Boston College.
Elijah Wilkinson, UMass Amherst.
1st and 10. On the give, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 5.
Jonathan Bernard, Hiram High School.
Jonathan Allen, Alabama.
Jalen Redmond, Oklahoma.
Javon Hargrave, South Carolina State. Donis Turner, Alabama.
Eric Wilson, Cincinnati.
Ivan Pace Jr., Cincinnati.
Byron Murphy, UW. Theo Jackson, Tennessee.
Joshua Metellus, Charles W. Fleming.
Isaiah Rogers, Lake High School.
3rd down.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
He's got his tight end. That's Pitts. And he's going to be out of bounds just past the marker. The ball was in the proper place for a new set of down.
1st down. 2 yards on the play.
It's a give up the middle to Robinson. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 5. From the gun, it's Penix. On the run to the right. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Pitts is the man in motion. On 3rd down, Penix. And that is incomplete.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
So on 4th down, the Falcons bring on Bradley Pinion to punt, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. The Vikings offense going to take over now for the 2nd time. So, Greg, the home opener after winning on the road, I know you've said it a bunch, there's a different satisfaction for a team to go on the road and get a win. So it's got to feel good to start your home season at 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves to play week 1 at home. Your fans are into it. The hope and the optimism of the season is at an all-time high, but it doesn't always go.
Leonard Floyd, Eastman, Georgia. David Onyemata, Lagos, Nigeria. Brandon Douglas, Oregon.
Arnold Piketty, Bell Creek down south.
Caden Ellis, Idaho.
Devon Diablo, Virginia Tech.
AJ Terrell, Clemson.
Billy Bowman Jr., Oklahoma.
Jesse Bates III, Wake Forest.
Xavier Watts, Notre Dame.
Mike Hughes, UCF.
Going to be caught by Addison. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
That's a gain of 6.
3rd down, 3 to go.
And 3.
From the gun, here's McCarthy. He's got a receiver. It's Addison. 13 yards on that pass play. It'll be a Vikings 1st down.
13 yards on the play. And the Vikings 1st down.
They run straight ahead with Jones. He'll be stopped after a pickup of about 3. Divine Diablo there to make the play.
4 yards on the pickup.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 6. Off the play fake, it's McCarthy. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the safety, Jesse Bates. And he's going to be looking at a short field for the offense after the INT. Can't tie the game or even take the lead.
The best way, Mike, for a defense to bait these bad throws is don't allow the quarterback to throw the ball to their first read. By the time he gets to the 3rd or 4th read, in this case, the defender has already put himself in position, jump that route, challenge the receiver, and that's a big-time takeaway.
The Falcons offense about ready to get going on their 2nd possession. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener, and you play a tight game and lose. It kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that called in the rule? You don't want one loss to turn into 2, one bad play to turn into 2. The best teams in this league, Mike, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good? And there certainly was a lot of it. But can they move forward today and not let the disappointment of last week trickle into today?
We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They run over center with Robinson. They get 14 yards and set up 1st and goal.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground, and tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around, so continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and they can continue to generate these big explosive runs. I don't think they need to go away from it.
From the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. Robinson. This defense backed up, but they bring the fire there. Stop him before he can get past the 3-yard line.
It makes sense on 2nd and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have 3rd down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on 3rd and goal.
That is caught in the middle of the end zone. Drake London, touchdown Atlanta. That his first touchdown of the new year.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their 2nd possession.
The extra point by Romo is good. And the Falcons will tie things up at 7-7 here in the opening quarter. We're all tied, 7 apiece, and the kick's away. Ty Chandler now to bring it back. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with 1st down. They'll run it with Jones to begin this drive. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down.
He was brought down by Aurora. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. That's to the left side and taken in by Jefferson. Another catch from there. Numbers starting to stack up in this one. Closing in on 100 yards, and we're still in the first half. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Up the middle, here's Jones. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. It's a gain of 10 yards. First down, Minnesota.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense. He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on first down.
And he'll have enough to move the chains. He'll take this forward for about 3 yards.
And the offensive line does a really nice job winning this play at the point of attack. And once he got the ball, all he had to really do was just find a crease and hit it, and he's able to pick up the first down.
So we are through one here on Sunday Night Primetime. Harris Evans on the scoreboard. 4 from the Twin Cities. In a moment. Vikings football as we begin this second quarter. We're looking at a second down and 9 to go. He'll run. This is Jordan Mason. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
To the right side, he's got Hopkinson, his tight end. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively, and now decision time. What are you going to do on fourth down?
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
7-yard gain. And the Vikings first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Sometimes it's just the obvious decision that's the correct one. I mean, the offensive line and their ability to win at the point of attack, all you need is one guy to displace the defender and just move him, and that's exactly where the play is designed to go. So you earn the trust to keep the ball on the ground in these gotta-have-it moments, and they come through.
A gain of 2 brings up second
from the 21. Here's second and 8. On the handoff, Jones. And they continue to churn out first down. What a drive. It continues now with first and goal.
That's another Vikings first down.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
Now McCarthy. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. Here's another shot from the 6 at second and goal. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up third down. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. This caught.
McCarthy's pass.
These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times, and then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, for him individually, not ideal, but right now they're on the doorstep of the end zone, and they got to find a way to put that ball across the goal line.
They'll go. Here's McCarthy. And this is on. Wow, the decision to go. He's on. T.J. Minnesota.
You know, Mike, I think we're going to see a lot of this, and you know why? It's the new kickoff rule. So think about it. In the old days, you'd kick a field goal, you'd kick a touchback, and your opponent would have the ball on the 20. You didn't give up as much field position, but you only got 3 points. Nowadays, you go for 3 points and you kick a touchback, they get the ball on the 35. It's almost 30 yards of field position. You're just better off going for touchdowns when you get in here tight.
Is good with the extra point. And the Vikings will move out to a 14-7 lead. Reichert out now following the touchdown as he kicks this one away. Agnew on the return. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. Here comes Drake London, the rest of that Atlanta offense getting set to take over once more. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times, and maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady, and then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, and New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. In Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets, new coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay has been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the rivalries amongst these teams really elevates what you see when you watch the NFC South go head-to-head, too.
Yeah, and over the years, there's been some major games played between Hall of Fame quarterbacks in uniform for all these teams. So it has a lot more history and a lot more, kind of relevance than maybe it feels as of late. The markets are a little smaller. The teams have been down. They might not have the premier star players that they had in past generations. So they've got to continue to rebuild these rosters, continue to have these new coaches find their footing, and we might be a year or two away from the NFC South getting back to what it used to be.
And he'll only be able to muster a couple of yards. The veteran safety, Harrison Smith, there on the stop.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
On play action, Penix. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. They might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
London brought in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Penix. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Blake Cashman. And the Vikings are going to get the football at their own 40.
I know it doesn't seem like a ton of yards on top of that pick, but that was really well done. I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier now as the offense takes the field, trying to capitalize off of that turnover.
And he will not be able to turn upfield. They'll drop him behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
On 2nd down, here's McCarthy. That one intercepted. Picked off by the rookie out of Georgia.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
Falcons offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, and you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival, so you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten a stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field. A lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come overtime. And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
And the left first and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
Ball at the 3, second down and goal.
Second and goal at the 3-yard line.
One more time, it's Robinson. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Bijan Robinson. Touchdown, Falcons. A lot of big bodies down there, but at the end of the day, the one that mattered, the one with the ball, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, once that back gets the ball, Mike, he's just looking for a little crack of daylight, and he's thinking, I'm going to run into it and just hope I come out the other side. And in this case, the other side's the end zone, and they get 6.
Now the try for an extra point. He knocks it through. And the Falcons will tie things up. We are all even at 14. So back to level after the touchdown. Time for the kickoff. Chandler now to return it. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense headed back to take over once more. Greg, the NFC North has become such a fun division over the last few years. Think of the geography and the legacy. It's always been, because of the proximity, a fun division with great rivalries. But with almost all the teams playing well, save the Bears over the last few years, it's almost heightened the awareness of how good the NFC North can be.
Yeah, I think going into the season, I'd make the argument it's the best division in football. And I think when the worst team, I know they were 5-12 with the Chicago Bears, but to me, there's a lot of wins built in there. Now they bring in Ben Johnson. They continue to build around Caleb Williams. That feels like there's a lot more wins built into that 5-12 record if they just get themselves organized and get some pieces around Caleb Williams, and that's what they've done. So, yes, Detroit and Minnesota, Green Bay, they've clearly been the top three for the last couple of years, but if Chicago and that roster, if that's your fourth best team in your division, man, I'll tell you what, those are going to be some really competitive division games this year.
And I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's the length of the franchises, but when these divisions go head-to-head, there always is a legacy feel that just is additive to the anticipation of those matchups.
Yeah, I mean, every one of these franchises has significant history for a lot of different reasons. They have Hall of Fame players, Hall of Fame coaches. Some of the most iconic individuals in the history of the league have played for these four organizations over the last 50-plus years. So there's so much into it, more than just the matchup on the field in that moment, and you can feel it with how much the fan bases rally behind their team.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. On the give, it's Jones. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain. Here's a 2nd and 9. To throw is McCarthy. That's caught by Jefferson on the right side. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first, as it comes to 22 seconds remaining till halftime. Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's McCarthy. He'll go right back to Jefferson. They connect again. That's a second charge for timeout for Minnesota, as they'll stop with 17 seconds to go in half number 1.
Jefferson, 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
2nd and inches. Here's McCarthy. Flush to his right. That is caught. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
1st down. 1st down and goal to go.
To the air once more is McCarthy. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Vikings.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the 4th quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the 1st half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here, going into halftime, changes this entire game.
Riker now to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Vikings have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. Just 8 seconds now until halftime, and the kick's away. Agnew on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We'll see if adjustments at halftime change the course of this one. Likely to play a big role in who's going to walk away with a W.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Agnew on the return. Crazy. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Falcons offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7-0 outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets, Rams and Jags. They'll also play in London week 6 and 7. The Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season, all of these international games.
Yeah, I can tell you, Mike, having played one of the international games towards the end of my career in London, when I played for Carolina, it's a great experience. It's fun for the players, it's fun for the coaches, it's fun for the fans and the families. So I expect this slate to continue to expand. There are so many fun international cities around the world that love NFL football.
And from what you hear, there's more to come. We could be at the point someday, very soon, where every team plays one game outside the U.S. in each regular season.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
That'll be caught by the running back Robinson. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's fourth down. The Falcons send their punting unit out. They'll be looking for something a little better than that first effort, which he shanked. Here comes Aaron Jones and the Viking offense as they take over once more. Well, Greg, as the season starts, really the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release. The draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as this season gets going.
You know, obviously so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes number one, and then obviously with Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, I think you look at Ashton Jeanty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, the Heisman winner, Colorado, great play, both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where is it harder to find impactful players? I believe it's harder to find impactful defensive backs. I think it's a harder position. I think the league favors the offense with the rules and the play style. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm making Travis Hunter a defensive back on day one, and then I'm going to package my offensive plays around his skill set to take advantage of him as a wide receiver. And then as time goes on, it will eventually unfold where he'll be able to have a role on both sides of the ball more consistently. So if I was in Jacksonville, that's what I would do. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see how fast and how big of a role on both sides they give Hunter early in his rookie year.
And that'll be a pickup of 3. From the 43, here's 2nd down and 7. From the gun, here is Penix. Out to his right, and he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there, but now it's going to bring up 3rd down. Now Penix, and they're going to get to him and take him down, take him back to the other side of midfield. Jonathan Grenard. He gets in to drop him for his first sack of the young season.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Taken at the 19. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The Vikings offense about ready to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. And he'll work this past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Xavier Watts there to bring him down. Here's a 2nd and 6.
At the 26-yard line.
Setting up to throw is McCarthy. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down. Throwing now, it's McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
This one, fielded, out beyond the 25. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and
3. They'll go again with Robinson. And they'll bring this up to the 48-yard line, and that's a 1st down.
A 7-yard gain. And the Falcons, 1st down.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
2nd down, they need 7. And here's Bijan. And you'll get them 5 yards closer, but now 3rd down coming up.
of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Trying to drive his way forward. I'm not sure he got there. Going to depend on the mark, but yeah, he's short. Short, and it's 4th down.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Vikings offense ready to see what they can do. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Jones. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run it once more with Jones. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. 3rd and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
And he is going to have a Vikings 1st down. Able to convert, albeit not by much, but they get it on 3rd and a yard.
And these are the tough yards you judge it back by, Mike. We used to say to our backs, hey, even if we don't block everyone, you've got to be your own blocker. Like, you have to find a way to get 1 yard and keep this drive alive. And I think he's able to pick up that 1st down by about a yard or 2.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11.
29-yard line.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. That one into the hands of Jefferson. And he gets him 6 yards closer before going out of bounds. It's 3rd down coming up. Take a look at his receiving numbers. So he has been terrific. Over 100 yards in this one. Here now, 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Addison that time. And now it's 4th down. It'll be a punt coming up for the Vikings. Broken for a bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to get back at it. They'll start out 1st down and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And tough running there. He's up to the 32. Jonathan Allen, the big man from the interior, with the stop.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 9. They'll begin the 4th by giving it to Robinson. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
And all you can do at this point, Mike, is just really marvel at how well he's been able to run the ball. And throughout the course of the game, they've certainly not been shy in giving it to him. And I think he's held up his side of the bargain.
First and 10. Give, and here comes Robinson. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's second down.
This back's been having his way all night long, Mike. Just a lot of room to operate. Great job by the offensive line all night long, but in this case, the defense does their job. They're able to penetrate, get in the backfield, and take him down for a loss.
After the loss of 3, it is second and 13. From the gun, it's Penix. That one is caught by Mooney. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on third down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's third down.
Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. He's got his tight end. That's Pitts. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
First down. First and 10.
Critical third down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the fourth quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
That's caught right side. It's London. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Brings up second.
From the 35, here's second and 4. They're going to go overrun him in a flash, and he lost the football. It's picked up by one of his teammates.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
On third down, Penix. To the right, that's Pitts. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down. And that's going to be incomplete. They had to take that chance. Trailing here in the fourth. They will turn it over on down. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with first and 10. This is Jones. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. A gain of 20 and a first down.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
Big-time opportunity opportune sack there by the defense. Mike, they're right on the cusp of field goal range. You can't allow this to become a two-possession ball game here in the fourth quarter. Massive third down coming up here. See if they can get off the field and get the ball.
Oh, a loose football. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
After these kind of plays, Mike, you just wish the sideline was a mile away, because you know when you get there, you are going to catch an earful. They stress all week, ball carriers. We have to protect the ball. In this case, it doesn't result in a turnover, but the lost yardage now brings up fourth down. These are drive killers.
It'll be a punt coming from the Vikings as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Falcons offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Robinson. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. To the left side, he's got McLeod. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards. It's good for a Falcon 1st down.
A gain of 12. 1st down.
Mooney in motion. It's a give up the middle to Robinson. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
So there's multiple factors, Mike, that make blitzes successful. So, of course, there's the initial design. Can you attack the vulnerabilities of the offense's blocking scheme? And then in this case, the next phase is the timing. You can see this linebacker knew exactly when that ball was going to be snapped. The offensive line had no chance to identify and pick him up, and he's able to bring him down for a loss.
On 3rd down, they'll set up under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. Jonathan Grenard. He's tough to stop all night. Now with 3 sacks in the game.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down, and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. The Vikings offense ready to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Now Jones. He'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and
8. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to weave his way forward. It's a 1st down at the 44-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards.
4-minute offense, Mike, so what does it mean? 1, make the defense use all of their remaining timeouts. 2, continue to pick up 1st downs, milk the clock. And then 3, if possible, finish with the ball in your hands.
And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. Now a timeout, Atlanta. That's their 1st. And they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. A run, it's Jones, and he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
You know at this point the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
So just under 2 minutes here in this one. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They run straight ahead with Jones. And quickly, the clock stops again. Defense taking a timeout. $1:54 to go.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. At the Falcons, 36-yard line.
2nd and 7. Here's Jones.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. Up the middle, here's Jones. But he goes nowhere. Call doesn't pan out. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
So now a big spot coming here. This to make it a 2-possession lead. Now whistles. Play clock at 0, and that'll cost them 5. They're all set to punt this one away. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. Clock stops with 1:06 to go in this one. So now, out comes the field goal unit in this pressure spot. This to make it a 2-possession lead. This one has plenty of leg. And it is good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage. Reichert had the field goal a moment ago. He's back out now to kick this one away. Agnew on the return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Falcons offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Short throw taken by Pitts. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 11. And the Falcons first down.
Throwing now, Penix on 1st down. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Blake Cashman. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 41.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
There's Kevin O'Connell, NFL Coach of the Year in 2024. His Vikings head back out there. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts. So just one kneel down And then time to shake hands. To a knee goes McCarthy. That should about wrap this one up. So a win here for the Vikings. They get the job done here at home, and they follow the opening weekend victory with another here to move to 2-0 on the season. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say so long from Minneapolis.
NBC Sports, celebrating its 20th season of Sunday Night Football. Thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.